Millions of Americans are quietly packing up and leaving the cities they once dreamed of. They're not chasing bigger opportunities. They're escaping bigger problems. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, the giants of American life, are shrinking for the first time in decades. People who spent their whole lives building these places are now walking away from them. And it's happening fast, far faster than most people realize. For many families, the cost of simply existing in a big city has become unbearable. Rent is breaking budgets. Groceries are breaking wallets. Stress is breaking people. Parents are asking themselves, is this still worth it? Young workers are questioning why they should sacrifice everything just to survive, not live. Even high-income professionals, people making $80K, $100K, $150K, are saying, I'm done. The American city, once a symbol of opportunity, is becoming a symbol of exhaustion. And while politicians argue about numbers, real people are quietly leaving in the middle of the night. Some are moving to the suburbs, some to small towns, some to entirely different states. But the pattern is the same. They're running from the same problems. So the real question is this: what went so wrong that millions of Americans feel they must escape the very cities they helped build?
On the surface, big cities look like places of opportunity. But for millions of Americans, they've quietly become a maze of invisible traps. The cost trap. The first trap is simple. Wages look high until you try to live on them. Because in big cities, everything costs more, and it rises faster than your paycheck. You earn $70K, $80K, even $100K, and still feel broke at the end of the month. It's not bad budgeting. It's the brutal math of urban life. The housing trap. Then comes the housing trap, maybe the worst of all. Rent climbs every year, but your income doesn't. Landlords raise prices, neighborhoods redevelop, and suddenly the place you lived for years isn't yours anymore. For many families, staying in the city isn't a choice. It's a struggle against displacement. The job trap. The job market is supposed to justify the cost, but the truth is, most salaries haven't kept up with the real cost of city living. You move to the city for opportunity, but end up trapped by the very job that brought you there. Leave the city, lose the job. Stay in the city, lose your life balance. That's the trap. And the safety trap. And for many families, safety is becoming the final breaking point. It's not just crime, it's the feeling that the city no longer protects you. Parents stop letting kids play outside. People avoid certain blocks. Everyone looks over their shoulder. When a city stops feeling safe, people start looking for the exit. But the most powerful trap isn't financial or physical, it's emotional. Big cities convince you that leaving means giving up, that success only exists inside the skyline. So millions stay longer than they should because the idea of leaving feels like failure. But deep down, many know the truth. The city stopped loving them long before they stopped loving the city.
If millions of Americans are leaving big cities, there has to be a deeper reason. And it starts with something that quietly changed everything: remote work. The remote work revolution. For decades, big cities held the most valuable asset in America: jobs. But when remote work exploded, that monopoly shattered overnight. Suddenly, you didn't need a $3,000 apartment in a major city to keep your job. You could work from a small town, a suburb, or another state entirely. The city stopped being a requirement and became a choice. And for many people, the choice was simple: leave. The tax burden problem. Then there's the reality nobody wants to admit. Taxes are pushing people out. State taxes, city taxes, property taxes, they stack up fast in major metros. Families look at their paychecks and ask, why am I paying this much for less? Especially when states with no income tax offer the same job security for far less money. Housing inflation no one can keep up with. Housing is the biggest pressure point. In many big cities, home prices have jumped 40 to 120% in just a decade. That's not sustainable for regular Americans, not even for high earners. People aren't leaving because they want more space. They're leaving because cities no longer offer a path to ownership. Declining quality of life. And even if you can afford the city, can you survive it? Traffic is worse, commutes are longer, air quality is dropping. The noise, the crowds, the constant pressure, it grinds people down. Cities promise excitement, but deliver exhaustion. People realize, why am I paying more to live worse? Unfailing urban management. Another factor no one talks about: city mismanagement. Poor spending decisions, slow infrastructure fixes, and broken public services. People lose trust when they feel their tax dollars aren't protecting them or improving anything. Once trust collapses, population collapses with it. The rise of new migration states. So where are people going? Texas, Florida, Arizona, and Idaho. The new magnets of American migration. Lower taxes, cheaper housing, more space, and a sense of possibility. The American dream didn't die, it just moved.
Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. America's biggest cities are no longer symbols of opportunity. For decades, the skyline meant success. It meant ambition, status, momentum, possibility. But today, those same skylines feel like cages. People aren't chasing dreams in big cities anymore. They're escaping from them. Because the American dream didn't die, it simply moved. The new American dream is no longer a high-rise apartment in a major metro. It's a yard, a quieter street, a home you can actually own. It's a life where your paycheck isn't swallowed the moment you earn it. A life where you can breathe, think, and plan without drowning in the cost of existing. And that life is happening in suburbs, small towns, and fast-growing Sunbelt states. That's where Americans are rebuilding the dream. Big cities are pushing people away. Because the truth is harsh. Big cities are pushing people out, not by accident, but by design. High taxes, impossible housing costs, failing public systems, and political dysfunction. Add it all together, and the message is clear. If you can't pay more, you can't stay. Cities didn't lose people, they drove them away. And here's the shift no one expected. Americans are choosing freedom over status, space over prestige, affordability over the illusion of success. They don't care about the skyline anymore. They care about safety, stability, ownership, and time. Things big cities no longer offer, not without a painful cost. The American dream isn't a penthouse view. It's a life you can actually live. So, the truth is simple. Americans aren't escaping cities because they're weak. They're leaving because they're finally strong enough to walk away. And in the end, that might be the most American decision of all.